What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new Hybrid Network weekly recap where we catch you up on all the big news from the past week that you might have missed. In this week's top stories, I Have a Bad Hair Day, Black Panther's barreling towards a box office milestone, Joss Whedon steps away from the Batgirl film, X-Force set to begin filming this fall, and Black Panther's costume designer takes on another superhero job. In that first story, Black Panther roared into theaters last weekend on the back of massive hype and riding a wave of extremely positive critical reviews, debuting to a massive box office total, but it's its second weekend that has a shot at the record books. When the dust cleared on its opening weekend, Black Panther had brought in $202 million from Friday to Sunday, good enough for fifth best all time behind The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Jurassic World, and of course the original Avengers. When you expand that to the 4-day total, including the holiday Monday, it brought in $242 million in its opening weekend, the second highest 4-day gross in history behind only, you guessed it, The Force Awakens. The big headline though is that Black Panther is poised to be just the fourth film ever to deliver $100 million at the box office in its second weekend, and the movie could actually afford a 50% drop from its first weekend and still bring in that total. The only films to do that so far are The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Jurassic World, so Black Panther would actually be the first superhero movie, let alone the first Marvel movie, to manage this feat. Box Office Mojo, tracker of all things ticket sales, is anticipating the movie is going to drop about 41% from its first week to its second week, which is still good enough for $120 million and the second biggest second weekend of all time, behind, you guessed it, The Force Awakens' $149 million. But who knows, Black Panther might just snatch the crown. In our next story, jumping over to the DCEU, Joss Whedon has stepped down as the writer and director of the Batgirl movie, according to a new exclusive from The Hollywood Reporter. You might remember that Whedon joined the film in March of last year, and at the time it seemed like a perfect fit. I mean, for better or worse, Whedon's got a great track record with blockbusters like The Avengers, and he's generally written strong female characters very well over the course of his career, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, for example. Then, in May, officially at least, Zack Snyder stepped away from Justice League, and WB turned to Joss to complete reshoots and post-production on the film. In the aftermath of Justice League's mixed reception, critically and financially, many expected Joss would be scapegoated for its failure, and credit to our pals over at Super Bro Movies, they actually had this scoop back in November, only to be asked to take it down by WB. Yesterday, in an official statement to THR, Whedon took the blame for the film never coming to fruition, saying, "Batgirl is such an exciting project, and Warner/DC such collaborative and supportive partners that it took me months to realize I really didn't have a story. I'm grateful to Jeff and Toby and everyone who was so welcoming when I arrived and so understanding when I, is there a sexier word for failed?" There will be rumors that Whedon was actually never attached to Batgirl, and it was just a front to cover for the fact that he was likely replacing Snyder on Justice League, who reportedly was actually fired in January, but the truth is, we may never know. Adding to the intrigue, Zack Snyder himself liked a post on Vero True Social that was critical of Whedon and happy that he stepped down. Spicy. On to our next story. That X-Force movie is full speed ahead and actually might start filming sooner than you think, and for good reason. According to a new report from Production Weekly, a periodical that tracks film and television production including locations and start dates, the movie is going to begin shooting this fall. That's just a few months after the release of Deadpool 2, which hits theaters in June, and is expected to introduce the concept in general, featuring its core nucleus of characters like Deadpool, Cable, played by Josh Brolin, and Domino, played by Zazie Beetz. The movie also might feature an early incarnation of the team if the trailer is anything to go by, as we see a super team lineup, matching costumes and all, featuring Deadpool, Domino, and Mutant Zeitgeist, played by It star Bill Skarsgård, and Shatterstar, along with Terry Crews, who's expected to play GW Bridge. It's worth mentioning that some believe this could be the Marvel Team six-pack rather than an early version of the X-Force, largely because Bridge was a member of that team, along with Deadpool, Domino, and Cable, but we'll just have to wait and see. Why the rush on X-Force, though? Well, there is that massive Disney and Fox deal looming, which is expected to take between 12 and 18 months to clear regulatory oversight, so there's a good chance that the film would either be deep in production or completely done filming by that time. That may give Disney second thoughts about pulling the plug, if it was ever going to. In our last story, something of a self-plug for us here at HN, Black Panther's costume designer Ruthie Carter has jumped over to another superhero gig with another company. That's right, the woman behind all of those wonderful costumes that you saw in Black Panther is making the jump to Sony Marvel, as she's officially signed on for the same role on that production for Spider-Man spin-off Silver and Black. Omega Underground first broke the story back in December, but Carter officially confirmed it in an interview with Discussing Film hosted by yours truly. Take a listen.
I did sign to do Silver Sable and Black Cat, and Sony Pictures is actually producing it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so it's in script rewrites right now, so I'm waiting to get the signal that I'm going back to work.
The film, of course, is expected to follow Spider-Verse on-again, off-again villains Silver Sable and the Black Cat, and is currently undergoing something like its fourth script rewrite, this time with Captain Marvel and Chaos Walking writers Lindsay Beer and Geneva Robertson-Doré. The movie is being directed by Love and Basketball's Gina Prince Bythewood, and was expected to release in February of 2019, something that seems a little unlikely now, but if filming starts as planned in March, who knows? Let us know what you think about that and all of our top stories this week, but that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time. If you love Hybrid Network and want to take your support to the next level, consider donating to us on Patreon as we strive to bring you the best content possible.